Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now, as regular listeners will know, with this podcast, I'm on a bit of a one-man mission to look at the tech behind the buzzwords and highlight real-world use cases of how technology is bringing us all together and removing inefficiencies that previous generations just accepted rather than do anything about. And I know that you're all probably sick of hearing words such as blockchain and crypto, but for non-believers of this transformative technology, I'm here to show you real-world use cases of how we're on the verge of something quite exciting. And if you missed the arrival of the internet back in the 90s and everyone's shouting, it's just a gimmick, it's a fad that will disappear, this is your chance to be on the right side of history. So today, I want you to think about something that you've probably never considered. The life cycle and journey of every food, every product, and even medicine that you've consumed in your life. And then think about all the middlemen, the regulation and complex aspects of supply chains that we all just take for granted. Step forward Ambrosus. And Ambrosus is a blockchain-powered IoT network for food and pharmaceutical enterprises that enables secure and frictionless dialogue between sensors, distributed ledgers and databases to optimize supply chain visibility and quality assurance. Despite those complexities, their mission is fairly simple. It's to set a global standard for decentralized supply chain management and provide quality assurance to enterprises in IoT ecosystems. This is one of just a few projects out there that I'm genuinely excited about because there is a real-world need for this technology, and the scope for the entire food and pharma industry is huge. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Switzerland so we can speak with the founder and CEO of Ambrosus, Angel Vassetti. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Angel. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yes, so my name is Angel Vassetti. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Ambrosus.
So to some people listening that are outside of blockchain or the crypto space, they only hear buzzwords and often fail to see the value in projects. But with this podcast, I'm on a mission to help educate people on how technology can solve real-world problems. So before we talk about Ambrosus, can you just tell me the kind of problems that some of the biggest businesses and brands are currently battling when it comes to the supply chain and why it is so desperately in need of an upgrade and ensure that it's fit for this new digital era that we find ourselves in?
Yes, in the supply chain area, there are a lot of questions pertaining to the quality of the product, where it comes from, what happened to it throughout its life cycle, is the product real or not? So this brings a bunch of problems for companies that they currently do not have proper means to solve. So, for instance, there is increasingly every year a larger and larger number of scandals in the food industry about the mislabeled products, where the information on the package doesn't correspond to the truth, and it can be either intentional fraud or simply careless handling of products. But every year the number of these scandals is increasing. So last year, for instance, in the US alone, the damage to the industry has been about $55 billion in terms of mislabeled food. So that's just only the financial damage. There's also, of course, the social cost, where people are consuming products that are of low quality, or in the case of medicine, they may simply consume counterfeit products. So right now, this is a major problem for multiple stakeholders in the supply chain. It's a problem for, obviously, the manufacturers. Why? Because a lot of, especially the biggest companies, their brand value is built on reputation, built on assurance of quality for the consumers. And for the largest companies in the world, their brand values are in billions, sometimes tens of billions of dollars. And what happens when there is either improper storage of products or unclear traceability or simply fake products, there is a big damage for the brand itself. Because when the consumer is getting a bad product, they look at the package and they associate it with the company that they're buying. So this creates, of course, a huge pain for these companies. They're trying, of course, to fight counterfeiting with different means. But it's very difficult, especially in the food sector where, food itself is not a very expensive product. So there are not that many advanced and sophisticated means for companies to enforce kind of quality assurance and proof of origin.